hold that right there. All right, listen in.
And so if they were going to use the blackmail file, they would just shut up about it and then say they were investigating and slow roll it. Instead, oh, we've got it. Oh, it's going to come out. Not just Bondi, all of them. That's loading the gun, putting the deep state's head, saying, we'll do it. We'll do it. We've sent it to the FBI offices around the country. We'll do it. And then they come back and say, fine, we'll stop our attacks on you. We'll roll over. We'll get out of the way of your project to relaunch America and all the great things you're doing. But you got to come out and say it's closed and it's over so that you're tied to it so that you can't ever stab us in the back. And then this is what you get. That's how this stuff works. And that's what I believe has gone on. And I wasn't sure of it yesterday, though my gut was. And now I know it. And it makes me feel sick. Because we need Trump to succeed. He's not a pedophile. From everything I know, and also my gut. And I operate off the Holy Spirit as well. And literally, I prayed about it 9+ years ago. God said, no, support Trump. And you've seen all the evil come against me and my operation because of that. And now you see the good fruits of what Trump's doing on so many fronts. And they're massively cutting off the human trafficking, the sex slavery. So they've cut that spigot off that we know Mayorkas and the Democrats were running, and we know they're pedos. I mean, we know it's in the WikiLeaks. And so I'm having to balance all of this in my mind, but I cannot sit here and watch Trump when he's having so much success, metaphorically, put a shotgun to his foot and blow it off.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Developing Dad podcast. We are going to talk about some of this stuff. This was, if you don't know who that was Alex Jones. So we're still talking about it. Yes, we are still talking about the Epstein cover-up because it is pertinent and it's important. What's going on, Zara Phoenix? We are going to, we're going to talk about it, right? Because this is not over. We've got some new developments. I was not going to go live today, but circumstances dictated that I do. And we're going to talk about this. So, Alex Jones, love him or hate him. Yeah, what's going on, Jelly? Thank you. Yeah, we've been known at the uniparty government corruption. We're just seeing the continued fruits of it. Alex Jones calls it out, rightly so. He calls it out. He had a gut feeling that he's now confirmed that this is essentially a blackmail attempt. Trump is essentially saying, look, we've got the information, we've got the goods on you, deep state. Let us stay out of our way as we implement our America First agenda, or we will release it. Alex doesn't like it. If this is true, I don't like it either. The MAGA First movement doesn't like it. A lot of people are questioning this move by President Donald Trump, and rightfully so. We have the right to question it. Well, hello, Jelly. We've got Jelly and Lee. Thank you. Yes. Right. Yeah. It looks like our fears and all of the conspiracy theorists that have been saying for years, right, that there's a deep state that really runs America and it runs things on the global stage. The uniparty, the facade of division between Republicans and Democrats is all to keep us fighting and concerned about the wrong things while they continue to amass power. It just, what's going on, David L. Sid and Kali? Yes. So thank you for tuning in, guys. We have to keep talking about this. Why? Because if we stop, it'll be just like Kennedy's assassination. Right? It'll be just like Kennedy's assassination. People will forget about it. they'll say, oh no, that's not really important. You know, continue to enjoy your circus, right? Enjoy your circuses, enjoy your sports, enjoy your 24-hour news cycle that keeps you blinded and divided and focused on the wrong thing. I got a little soap in my eye. Anyway. But unfortunately, we're not going to stop. Right? No, my eye's red. Something's got in my eye. Oh well, it is what it is. We're gonna power through it. Yeah. Hello. Who else here? Who else is here? Let's see. Let's see. Michael Wilbur, welcome. Sean Cope, welcome. All right. Babyface Nelson, welcome. Paradigm Shift, welcome. Okay. Yeah, we need to keep uncovering this information, right? Because, or not uncovering it, but continue to keep it in the public eye. Because we've got what, the director of the FBI. This is him in 2013 versus 2000.
Protecting the greatest pederast,
right?
Hold
on a second.
Largest scale pederast.
2023 versus 2025.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but he released the names, right?
And I've said it, Dan Bongino said it, we've reviewed all the information, and the American public is going to get as much as we can release. He killed himself. Do you think, let's play out the logical conclusion of this, do you think that myself, Bongino, and others would participate in hiding information about Epstein's grotesque activities? Or do you think we would also participate in not prosecuting people we had evidence to prosecute people on? Where's the videotape of an Epstein Island of X, Y, and Z committing these frauds? Why haven't you given it to us? Do you really think I wouldn't give that to you if it existed?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do. We do, Cash. We do.
Why you always lying?
We do. Because there are other people like Alan Dershowitz.
Remember, I was accused falsely in the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared. The woman admitted that she may have mistook me for somebody else and withdrew all of her lawsuits. And so from day one, from the day I was accused, I said I want every document out because I knew every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed, and they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them, but I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them, and that's wrong. I have seen, remember, I was accused falsely in the Epstein, and ultimately I was completely cleared.
Right? He says, I mean, we see that certain people say that there's a list. We need to release the list. I've shown you video after video of that on previous episodes. Welcome to everybody tuning in for the first 10 minutes. I'd like to give shout outs to everybody that's tuning in. Who have I not seen? All right, let me go back and see if there's anybody else in here. Let's see, who else have been? Okay, I think that's the last. All right, okay, there it is. All right, some, welcome. Lee, welcome. Michael Hudson, welcome. Antisocial Atheist, welcome. Channel, welcome. Channel, the channel's always welcome. Bruno Ferreira. Yeah. Ferreira. I don't know why I can't read that. Something's wrong with me. Okay. Good shorts. Welcome. FBI says stop talking about this. Welcome, FBI. All right. You're always here, FBI, so we get it. You're with all of us, right? You're almost omnipresent. John J.H. Rocker, welcome. Johnny 5, welcome. Thank you. Eric Chavez, welcome. Tony Whittington, welcome. Patriot Watcher, welcome. Yeah, I don't believe Trump is on the list. I believe I believe what Alex Jones said at the beginning, the first video I played, that Trump is using the list to stop the deep state from interfering with his America First agenda. I think that's the logical play. People are being either protected or blackmailed. I said that before Alex Jones said it about 3 episodes ago, before I heard Alex Jones say that, because I like Tucker Carlson and people like that. Like, look, if Tucker doesn't think he's a PDF file, and Alex Jones doesn't, and Bill O'Reilly and people that know him don't think he is, I'm like, okay, then what's the other explanation? That Trump is not a PDF file. So what's the other explanation? The only other explanation is that those files exist, because we believe they exist. Those files exist, and they're being used either to Trump is using them to blackmail the deep state, or the deep state has threatened Trump with another attempt on his life if they release them. Either way, it's bad. Yep. Quality Customs, welcome. Contrita S, welcome. All right. Who else? I want to catch everybody that came in before 10 minutes. Hubo52, David Saylor, CRXR, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everybody. If you could like the video, even if you don't. Right, Jake the Snake, thank you for coming in. Who else? I think that's everybody. Yes, most of these are Billy R, James, Barry, or AC Jordan. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. All right. So, unfortunately, we don't have the list, but we've been told that there was a list. We've been told by Pam Bondi that there was a list. We've seen Pam Bondi fumbling all over her words when asked about the list, right? Let me see. I'm gonna pull that video up. Where is she? Let's see. This one right here, where Pam Bondi can't seem to get her words in order, right? And Trump tries to gaslight.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes.
This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration.
Oh, we know they're always
You
wrong.
go ahead.
That's why I have this.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Yeah. So again, we were told that we would get the list. We haven't gotten the list, right? And heads need to roll, right? Dom Luker reports, breaking news, Kash Patel is now reportedly considering resigning as director of FBI per the Daily Mail. Get him out of here, right? Get him out of here. Well, I didn't want him in there to begin with. So, yeah. It is what it is. Get him out of here. You can't do your job. Bondi, next, whoever is a part of this cover-up, get him out of here, right? Get him out of here, right? So many things that we voted for are happening, and we're going to talk about some of those things. But we got to talk about this one too, right? We got to talk about this too. Trump is doing some great things. We're going to highlight some of that in this episode, right? We're going to highlight some of that in this episode. But we got to talk about the thing that's ever present in, in the political sphere right now. So we got to talk about it. Yep. All right. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. All right. Appreciate you. Thank you for liking the video. All right. So we gotta talk about this a little bit more. Right. So Bill O'Reilly weighed in on it as well. Yep. All right. Let's see.
I talked to President Trump man to man, eye to eye, on St. Patrick's Day about this and the Kennedy files and the King files. It was all one conversation. And he said, and I agree, there are a lot of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's conduct. They maybe had lunch with him or maybe had some correspondence for one thing or another. If that name gets out, those people are destroyed because there's not going to be any context. Media doesn't care about context. So you can't do that. You can't destroy human beings by putting out the files, whatever they may be. I talked to President Trump man to man, eye to eye.
So for the slow people in the chat that don't think I'm blaming Trump, you see what that says right there? Trump. Epstein cover-up. Doesn't say Bondi. It doesn't say Patel. It says Trump. If Trump is covering this up, he needs to be held responsible too. I don't understand why you guys don't see that. Okay. I don't understand. Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
It says it right there. In the title of the video. Did y'all see the title of the video? Y'all saw the title of the video, right? Sometimes it's hard to read. I don't know, maybe. It's hard to read sometimes. I don't know. I'm asking, will this ruin his legacy? Will he be able to come back from this? Will we see the MAGA movement call for his head? If you saw the first video, where I showed what Alex Jones says about the situation, even if Trump is using this as a tool to keep the deep state quiet, you have cognitive dissonance here, right? Watch this. Look at this. Because they are, listen, so watch this. Listen to this video, right? This is one of the great things that he's doing. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to show you why the Epstein thing is so important, right? Hold on one second. Because this is an impromptu live. Okay, watch this. So if Trump, right? And I know some of you all, the dissenters, I get it. It's hard for you all to understand that people can be critical of some of the things Trump does, and then also praise some of the things that he Trump. Right. So this is the issue. In this video, he talks about protecting children. Doesn't that?
And something that you should have that you haven't reported. As you know, 300,000 children are missing, right? 300,000 under Biden. We've already gotten back 10,000 of those children, and we have a lot more planned to come back. We're getting them back by the thousands, but 300,000, and as of this morning, over 10,000 we've gotten back. And
so on one hand, he's protecting children, finding some of the 300,000 that Biden said were lost crossing the border. But the children that were taken advantage of by the Epstein ring. No, we don't want to protect them. That's what this is about. We're trying to say, look, be consistent. Be consistent. Right? Be consistent. You're protecting these children. How about you protect the children that the intelligence community has harmed for years? See, you should be able to do both. Maybe they are. You know what, Doug? That may be a great look. I normally only do super chats on the screen, or, members of or moderators comments. But Doug makes a great point. Maybe they are. Maybe this is, Doug says maybe they are protecting them by not prosecuting, but then holding the intelligence community and those who, are guilty at bay. Maybe they think they're protecting these children. They're protecting future children from being taken advantage of. Maybe they think that. And we can disagree. We can say that if you don't bring these people to their knees with the full force of whatever authority you have as president, and let it all burn down, all of the people that are guilty, maybe we can just disagree that we would much rather see you all take them down instead of keeping them anonymous and allowing them. Because again, what happens if something happens to Trump before the 4-year term is over and he isn't able to enact all of his policies, and then what happens then? Because is he the only one keeping them at bay? Because they already tried to take his head off once. Who says they won't try it again? Right? And again, do I believe that Trump is a PDF file? I don't know. That really, to me, if he is, this is a big problem. If he isn't and he's protected, it's still a big problem. Either way, it's a problem. It's bad all the way around. Right? He could be in the list. That's a bad thing. If he's protecting people in the list and he's not in the list, that's a bad thing. If he's using the list to blackmail people who will probably outlive him and govern long past the time that he's in office, that's still a bad thing. There really is no, unless he's playing 20D chess and the rest of us are just completely idiotic, and it's possible. I am not the smartest man on the planet. I could be absolutely wrong about all this, but I'm getting on this podcast to just have the conversation with people who may or may not agree with me. Push back in the comments. I have no problem with pushback. Thoughtful pushback. Now, if you just hit a troll, then you go ahead and do your thing. But yeah, y'all can troll all you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, yeah. And that's the thing. Sarge says it. That's what it feels like. It feels like Israel owns our government. Right? And yeah. And that they're being like Epstein and his connections to Mossad and all these other things. It seems like all of this is connected. And you've got Netanyahu visiting the White House and meeting with the Trump administration, and then the Epstein story drops, and it just seems all too coincidental. So you're protecting children here, but not the children who were assaulted, raped. I don't know. I'm just looking for consistency. I want him to keep his promises. Right? He could be a PDF file. I do not know. That's not my. I don't know. I just know that any of all of the scenarios lead to something bad. Yes, Sarge CFC. I did cover that recently. That Patel's girlfriend is a PragerU employee. Yeah, we talked about that a couple of episodes back, right? And that's another thing. Democrats coming in here grandstanding. Biden didn't release the list either. And you think Kamala was going to, right? Kamala's.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
Y'all miss her?
No.
I don't. I don't. Yeah, because everything that's happened. We're in a parallel universe where none of these things would have happened if we had just voted correctly. Apparently, if we had voted, none of us are ever going to regret Kamala Harris not being in office. None of us. Anybody who's, well, maybe some people will. I will never regret not voting for that woman. So if y'all think that the only options were Trump or her, well, give me Trump all day long. We'll keep pushing because look what happened. Look what happened here because of our pressure. Because of the MAGA movement's pressure. Breaking news. Keep putting pressure on him. Let's get him out. Let's get everybody in this cover up out. It doesn't matter from the top on down. I'm not yoked to any of these people. If they're willing to cover up child grape, get them all out. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, come on, man. We should be able. I'm surprised. Why didn't the Biden administration release the list? The list existed in September of 2024. The list existed in 2021 and 2022 and 2023. Why wasn't it released then? Why wasn't Creepy Sleepy Joe, who is a racist?
And you ain't black.
Right?
They're going to put you all back in chains.
And was unfit for the position. Why? The list existed then. So leftist, you have no leg to stand on. It wasn't released under your administration. If y'all are all about Kamala and Biden, that's why nobody takes you all seriously. Because you weren't clamoring for the list then. Whereas America First, libertarian, constitutional, MAGA people have been asking for the list for years. So again, people in glass houses, don't throw the stones. We don't care what you all think. We're still laughing at you all. Now we may agree on this one thing, but we can promise you that we're not interested in what you all think. No, we're not. We're not. All right. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing and liking the video. All right. We've got 1,200 people in here and we got 87 likes. If you could like the video. That would help with the engagement. We're getting those numbers up, y'all. We're trying to get to 10,000 by the end of July. Y'all are making it happen. Keep it up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I started, about 2 weeks ago, I started with 6,700. Huh? Woohoo. Yeah, last week, at the beginning of the week, when I put that, yeah, come on. Keep it up. Yes. All these new subscribers. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in, right? And I just love the fact that we're having this conversation, whether you agree or disagree, right? I even want the trolls. Come on, trolls. Keep it up, right? The trolls, y'all help to keep it going. Y'all keep the conversation going in the left. Right, I say left, but it's actually right for me. What's going on, brother Anthony Allen? Yes, get those likes up and subscribe. That's one of my moderators, right? Moderators and members will get, and memberships are only $1, right? You can click that link to join. It just helps me to know that you support the work that I'm doing. I do a lot of stuff, right? I just came from teaching music lessons, and it was like, and my wife and I had a date, and we got home. We were on our way home, and I said, "Well, it's almost 7:00. We got." I got an early day. I said, I wasn't thinking about it, but I might be able to do a live. And she was like, go for it. I said, come on. That's what I'm talking about, right? When you got that supportive wife, it's like, woo, wait, come on. Yeah, I know. Look, D-Bot 888 says I shouldn't be supported, but it's happening, baby. It's happening. It's happening. And then don't be like that, because you know what? That's racist. That's racist. You don't think I should be supported? Why? Because I'm black? That's racist. That's racist. Y'all know I don't play the race card like that. That was a joke. All right. I don't mess around like that. All right. So, but we see this good stuff that Trump is doing, protecting kids, right? The illegal children of illegal immigrants that, right? Yeah. Right. You do this good thing and then just release the list then. Right? Release the list. Man, release the list. Look, he says I shouldn't be supported, but he's here watching my video. The easiest way for him for me not to be supported is to just swipe up. That's an instrument. Swipe up. You can do that. Swipe up. Right? So, but he's also doing this. This is another thing, right? Trump wins. Let's just do that. We're going to put it in wins. Right? Yeah. Right. And this is a relaxed one. You see no bow tie. I came home and got relaxed. Oh, this was actually funny. Right. But let's do this. This is going back to the cover up. I thought this was funny because I used to watch Chappelle's show religiously. Right, but this is Trump when asked about the Epstein list right? What is it? This is a Chappelle episode.
Damn, I knew I shouldn't have called on this nigga. Stop worrying about that. I got that under control. Fine, I'll answer your stupid ass question. I feel like you guys keep trying to distract people when I'm focusing on other things. Let's focus on space, the United States of space. Because I ain't stopping at the moon. Mars, bitches. Mars. Red rocks. Yay, yay.
That's essentially what it feels like. That's what it feels like right now. That we'll be like, stop focusing on the stuff that doesn't matter. SpaceX, right? The United States of Mars. Like that's, he said it. We're doing such great things when Bondi was in there. We got all this great stuff going on. Ice, baby. Come on. Right? And we're like, yeah, but we want the list. Right? Well, the yellow cake uranium, y'all remember that? That was funny. That was funny, right? Yeah, man. Because we want, look, I want everybody that is responsible for the cover up from Patel, if it goes Patel on down, Patel on up, whoever. Y'all don't seem to understand that. Those of us who are seekers of truth and want the protection of the innocent among us would have no problem if it's uncovered that Donald Trump is in any way, shape, or form tied to that list, whether it's the cover up or he's in it, I have no problem with him being held responsible too. I don't understand why y'all don't see that. Y'all, because y'all's brains can't think like that, right? That if somebody voted for him, they could also not agree with everything that he does or want him to be held responsible. See, we're not in a cult. Well, I'm not, because I came from third party and I said, okay, well, I'll do the Trump thing this time. But my allegiance is not to anyone but Christ. That's it. My ultimate allegiance is to the truth. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. That's it. I own no Trump memorabilia. I don't do that. I don't wear anybody's name on my back. I don't even own jerseys. I don't own football jerseys, basketball jerseys, or anything because I refuse to put another man's name on my back. I'm not an idolater. So if Trump is found to be guilty, boom, get him out of here too. I don't know why. I don't know who y'all thought y'all were talking to. I guess what it is. All right. Now, this was another really good video from, and if that puts me on the outside of MAGA, it is what it is. I'm not interested in if that means I got to shut my brain off and just support Trump no matter what, then I never did that, never have done that, never will do that. I'll go back to voting third party quicker than you can, shake a stick at it. I don't care. All right, now let's see. Here we go. This is let's go back to some of the wins, some of the things that he's doing well. We gotta keep it. Where is it? Where is that thing? Is it? No. Which one is that? Yes, policy wins. Let's listen.
I think his political analysis is wrong. I don't think it's unpopular at all to try to reform an entitlement program, to save it for the people who need it, to keep illegal aliens from getting welfare benefits they shouldn't be getting, to encourage people to go to work. I don't think these things should be shied away from by Republicans.
None of that is true. First of all, I think Medicaid
It's exactly true. It's exactly what's in the bill.
Federal law.
Let me stop this real quick and deal with this super chat. I appreciate you. Nathan O'Connell, $9.99 super chat. Thank you. The director and deputy director of the FBI threatening to resign over the DOJ saying there's no client list. Lies hidden in darkness will be brought to light. Amen. That's one beautiful thing about being a Christian. You know that every dark deed will be brought to light at some point in time, even if we don't see it, even if it doesn't happen during my lifetime, I know that those crimes will be punished. That's one of the cool things about understanding the gospel and understanding the law and understanding God's justice. It's because we understand that even if these people think they're getting away with it today, they still have to answer to God ultimately. If there is no God, which is preposterous to think about, right? Because it just doesn't make any logical sense. Then these people get away. They win. They got to eat, drink, be merry, grape children, die without being convicted, and then it's just over. That's a sad reality. That is a sad reality, right? That's nihilistic. That's like whatever. It's like, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Because this is all pointless. Nothing. And so I don't live in that reality because that's not the reality that the Bible presents. So I'm excited about the fact that we could get them today and we could get them, they will get theirs in the end. That's the hope. I want these people prosecuted now, and I want them to experience the punishment lest they repent for the heinousness of their sins, for their offense against the people and ultimately against God. Thank you. That's the point, right? Nobody escapes accountability ever. Either Jesus paid for your sins or you're going to pay for it in the end. That's the beautiful thing. That is a sobering and a comforting reality, right? So there you go. Now let's keep listening. So we're going to start it back from the beginning. Let me read the tweet first. It says, and thank you for the super chat, Nathan. Spirited debate with your Rep Richie on Medicaid. Though he denies it, the CBO is clear, right? 1.4 million illegals and 4.8 million able-bodied adults who choose not to work. Republicans are saving Medicaid for the working poor who need it. Dems want free health care for illegals, right? The social safety net is set up as a temporary situation for people who fall on hard times, and then for those who are disabled and cannot take care of themselves. That's the purpose of the social safety net. What we have now is we have a population of indigents who do not want to work, who want to milk the system. We see so many videos coming out almost daily of women, highlighting the fact and booing people and thumbing their nose at everybody who pays for their meals. Well, we want that to stop. Right? That's it. There you go, Nathan. Another one. Pray for peace, right? Yes. That is. Christ is Lord. Amen. So we want that to stop. The Medicaid system, SNAP, EBT, whatever, all of these social safety nets are being overrun by indigents. And this is the thing. It is indigents of all races. Right? And you say, well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do a little let's just do that ask old chat. There we go. We'll do that. While he's asking, yes, usage rates. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I meant. Usage rates. All right. So we can get some information real quick, right? This is the thing. We've got so many people on these services. You're telling me that there's this many disabled people and people that can't work? No. Right? Food stamps, 30% white, 26% black, 26% black, 28% Hispanic, 3% Asian. Man. It's hardworking. 7% other. Medicaid, 40% white, 20% black, 30% Hispanic, 5% Asian. Public housing, 32% white, 42% black, 20% Hispanic, 2% Asian. Right? It's just, we've got, this is the U.S. Census and Department of Health and Human Services data. Are we saying that there are this many people? Right? We could go by income level, by state. But the information is there if you want it, to know who's using these services, how much it's costing us. And if you wanted to start looking at illegal immigrants that are using it. I know, right? He's like, man, look, that's one culture that I have profound respect for. And I model a lot of what my family does based on what I've learned from my friends and co-workers who were Asian. One of my first videos was Black people need to be more Asian. That's like the first videos where my channel started to take off. You need to learn from what, if you see a group that is succeeding where you're failing, go over there, ask them, hey, what are you doing to succeed? Or just observe and say, guys, you got some things going on that are really good. How are you doing this? And then implement it. Because I've never been afraid to say somebody's doing something better than I am. One of the reasons why this is happening is because I've been watching people who are doing it better than me and saying, okay, well, what is YouTube pushing and how can I make my channel grow? And then I do it. Right? Let's see. I'm going to put the link in let me share it. I'll put this link in there. Hold on one second. All right. Create link and I'll put it in the chat. There it is. The link's coming. Okay. So, and I should pin it, but it should be there. Okay. So it's easy to prompt, right? And just go and find this information. But let's look at the video. I mean, we've kind of talked about it already, but where is the video? The social services. How many times are we going to look at that? Yeah. So, but let's just say save the program for those who are in need. Save the programs for those who are in need. I'm not a fan of social safety nets at all. I'm not. But if they're going to exist in the corruption, the fraud, and the waste, if I have to pay for it, if you're going to take my money, 35% of the money that I make, if you're going to take it, at least get rid of the fraud and waste. Make sure that the people who are on it need to be on it or deserve to be on it and aren't using it as a vehicle to avoid work. That's all we're saying, right? Yes, ultimately, I would like for them not to exist and the church to do the job of supporting those who are in need, which I think is the sphere in which the church should operate. I don't believe the government should be in the business of caring for the poor. That's not the government's job. I don't believe that they can do it well. I don't believe that's their domain. The social safety net, America existed without it. I think we can exist without it again. I believe that the church did its job well prior to the government taking its job. It's also led us to believe to be detached from our fellow man. And so in so much that we just say, well, I'm already paying 35% of my money to taxes. You're getting social services. Why should I give you anything extra? There are social services for you if you want them. The government has set them up. Why should I give you any more of my money? I need this money to take care of my family. 35% of it, of what I make. If I make $100,000 a year, how much of it do I get? Right? If you're taking 35,000 of it, I've got to figure out 65,000. I've got to figure out how to live on that or keep making more money in order to meet my family's needs. All right. Look, Francisco Velasquez, I agree with that. Churches should be taxed. I'm a Christian and I believe that churches should be taxed. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Yeah. I have no problem with that idea. Right? 501c3 status is also a means by which churches can be controlled. Oh, we'll remove that I will remove this your 501c3 status if you don't conform, if you don't do what we say. I like that one, Jerry Hawk. I'm gonna put that. I normally only put super chats and comments from members and moderators, but I need to put that. That was funny. I used to identify as a conspiracy theorist. Now I identify as a guy who was right all along. Oh man. Yes, there would be no affordable health care. Let me show y'all when y'all use affordable health care. Right, affordable. Oh goodness. Let's see. Whenever somebody talks about affordable health care, I just showed them my premiums from Obamacare in 2017 as an independent contractor. Where is that one? Let's see. Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you, it's in here somewhere, but I'm not about to go and look for it. My family, we were paying $1,400 a month in premiums. So yeah, I don't want to hear about affordable health care, right? Somebody's paying for it. You may not be paying for it. You may be getting affordable health care, right? Because I'm paying for it. But yes, I don't want to hear about that. But there's some good things that that Trump is doing. But my goodness, we can't not deal with the bad things. We got to call it out when we see it, right? Now this is another one, okay? So Trump administration removes $40 billion in taxpayer benefits from illegals, right? This is insane that they were getting that much money.
All right. Also today, the Trump administration is doing away with many taxpayer-funded benefits for illegal immigrants. Among some of those benefits ending, free tuition, food assistance programs, Head Start, access to federal workforce development grants. The White House says the move will preserve roughly $40 billion in benefits for American citizens. All right. Also today, the Trump administration.
Wow. Again, this is when people say that they want all the illegals gone. This is what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about. Right? This is what they're talking about. And look, this is what they're talking about. This is why they're this is why people are frustrated, right? The 40 billions to for illegals in benefits. This is something we talked about yesterday. $17.9 billion paid directly to Israel in foreign aid, in direct aid, $4.86 billion in Pentagon regional ops, $20.3 billion in deferred arms deals, billions more in shipping losses, stockpile and transfers. Washington has paid 70% of Israel's military costs since October 7th, 2023. On top of the $40 billion for illegals, we've got 70% of Israel's military costs. How can the American taxpayer keep up with its government's spending? And they keep talking about tax the rich and increasing taxes. How much of you will own nothing and like it? This is what I mean. These were not life manuals, guys. Like the left. Hey, left. You weren't supposed to look at these as how-tos. You weren't. Those weren't how-to manuals. Okay? We need the government to stop overtaxing us, giving our money to illegals, to Israel, to Ukraine, whomever. Just stop funding the world. We don't want to keep doing this. I know I'm tired of it. America First people are tired of it. The middle class, we're tired of funding the EBT queens and the Israeli military. We just want to keep our money. I just want some money. I just want my money. I just want my money. I don't even want some money. I just want my money. I just want to keep it. I know that makes me selfish. Thank you for the super chat, Yasser. All right, what's the probability Epstein was Mossad? Wasn't his dad Mossad? Right? And you can answer that without a super chat. But that's right. Right? I know FTB reacts. I know you're late to the party. We already talked about that, but okay. I don't know. I'm not going to go back and start the video over. We already talked about the fact that we spent the first, 40 plus minutes talking about that. Right. So, Yasser, did you answer that question? Yeah. So people are yes. Like people are answering it. So even if he wasn't, he was Mossad adjacent, right? So and his history, from what the little that I've studied of it, right? Right? The little bit that I've studied of it, he had a very questionable rise into some very seedy places, right? And so this, like Trump trying to gaslight us, and this is what the point that we're making. While Trump is doing some really good things, this Epstein thing is a black mark. Could it be the thing that destroys his legacy? We've already got Patel considering resign. We've got Dershowitz saying that he's seen the files. We've got Bondi saying that she saw the files, or they were on her desk, and then now they are not there. And we've got this, Alex Jones is saying that he's probably using the files as a blackmail tool for the elites, and an agreement has been made that he won't release it as long as they stay out of his way and allow his America First agenda to happen. Yeah, right. The Yasa, she did say that. Thank you again for the super chat. Right? She says that he's a millionaire, but nobody knows how he became one. Right? And so yes, we're looking at Trump with the side eye. Right? Even us that voted for him, that are America First, we're like, hold on now. Because again, I'm not Republican. I'm not a registered Republican. I vote third party most times. But for the past 2 times, I voted for him because I liked the way he governed in 2016. And I thought that he would keep his promises, and he's keeping most of them. But this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Right? And if he starts... Right? If he starts showing this pattern of dealing with the deep state, then yeah, we're going to have a problem with that. And then the Republican Party will never get another vote from me again. I have no problem not voting for Democrat or Republican. I did it multiple times. I'll keep doing it. All right. So, I don't know. Yeah. And some people are saying, I think it was 3.5 trillion to the deficit. I understood that he was going to have to spend money to fix Biden's problems. The hope is that once he fixes them, then everything will keep, then things will start to, you have to pay when the person runs up the credit card or runs up the problems. You gotta, you gotta fix these problems. The flood of illegal immigrants meant that we're gonna need a force to the ICE agents. We're gonna need more ICE agents to get them out of here. That's an unfortunate reality, and money has to be spent on that. I hate it, but it's the reality we're living in because of the previous administration. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'll never vote Democrat again, right? But because they've gone so far to the left that those people deny reality, right? They don't know how to define a woman. They believe in they have redefined marriage. They have tried to bankrupt the country and shift the political power into their hands permanently by flooding the country with illegal immigrants to skew and increase their numbers in Congress. I mean, these people aren't to be trusted, right? And we're looking at Trump now. We're like, well, you're using the same tactics that they used with the gaslighting. You guys still talking about Epstein? Yes. Because that was one of your policy promises. I mean, your campaign promises. Yes. We're going to keep talking about it. Yeah, the previous administration
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
Nope.
And you ain't black.
Right. He ain't black. I don't care what they have to say. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care what any leftist has to say. They've lost all objectivity. So it is what it is, right? I'm Uncle Ruckus, no relation, right? Thank God for the white man. Yes, I know. I know, guys. I know. They're going to come in with the... Kamala would have done better at absolutely nothing. right? Well, you know, fun, joy, vibes, right? Right? I guess, you know, people saying illegals can't vote, duh. But the census counts illegal immigrants as well, which are used to figure out the state's number of electoral votes. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. Well, I guess. Oh, boy. Civics is fun. Civics is fun. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Civics is fun. Let's see. All right. Yeah. All right. There you go. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I knew it was coming, so that's why I put the book over here. Hold on a second. There you go. There you go. This is people who always talk about, hey, Uncle Tom. You're an Uncle Tom. There you go. There you go. You should. Have you read the book? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. God, these people are crazy. Right? I know. Right? I get it. They're going to put y'all back in chains. What's going on doing work? What's happening? What's happening? All right, it's another one of my newer members, right? Thank you. I appreciate you for becoming a member. Memberships are only $1, right? $1. Okay? They lost because they only run a campaign on disliking Trump. They didn't put out any decent ideas. Exactly. They didn't put any thought or effort into policy positions. She started giving policy positions near the end when it was clear, right, that nobody was buying what she was selling, right? I need to come up with some policy positions. So I'm just going to, whatever I think the people want, I'll give it to them. That's what she did. She was trying to run on peace, joy, vibes, good times. Right? We don't care about that. We were waiting. This is what we were doing while we were waiting on her for her to give a policy position, right? And then she finally came up with this,
so I'm
right?
not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
No, of course not. Of course not. All right. Now, and this is the left playbook when it comes. This is essentially the left's playbook when it comes to black people. All right. This is essentially the left's playbook. This is what they do. Because Kamala did it. This woman does it, right? They say this is how liberal white women get black people to vote Democrat right here. They go out, do a little dancing, right? Shuck and jive. Oh, look at you. I can dance like y'all. Now vote for me, right? This is what, right? Right when Hillary went on her campaign, right? Hillary went on a campaign. She was like, what? So how you gonna get us to vote for you? I don't feel no ways tired. I don't feel no ways tired, right? She go to the church and she put on her southern drawl. I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far, right? To turn back now. Nobody told me, right? The road will be easy. That's what she does. And then black people eat it up, lap it up. 92%, 90+%, 92% of the women. Right. Thankfully, the men started to see this past election. Yes, exactly. Right. Yeah. Right. That's it. That's Hillary. That's a baby Hillary right there. She's like, come on, I can dance with y'all. Come on, look at me. Right. Yeah. And then they asked the question. Is it working? Is it working? Of course it's working. You're going to get 90+% of that vote. Right. They offing babies in the womb, putting all of the Planned Parenthoods in low-income neighborhoods. Margaret Sanger says she wanted to make sure that the black people didn't get the wind of the fact that they wanted to exterminate the Negro race, right? All of this stuff happened prior to Trump. This is one of the reasons. These are the reasons why I will never vote for a Democrat. Trump aside, I don't even care about that. I decided never to vote for a Democrat about 13 years ago. When I started to study the truth about what they've done, the party of the KKK, the party of Planned Parenthood, the party of the Great Society programs, right? Uncle Ruckus, no relation, right? This is exactly what they want you to think. And then again, what do? This is the fear tactics, right? People come in and call you names, or they'll say, "Well, put y'all back in chains." They're gonna put y'all back in chains, right? And they think that that's going to get us to stay on the plantation with them. Oh, your ancestors are weeping for you. Cry me a river. I want to do what's right for my progeny. If my ancestors were stupid enough to vote for Democrats for years while the Democrats were trying to yoke them to ideological slavery, that ain't my problem. See, my eyes are open. I'm not about to vote for Democrats, because what has the black community gotten from voting Democrat? Lyndon Baines said what? He's gonna have these N-words, right? Voting Democrat for 200 years. We're 60 years in, 140 to go, right? Lyndon Baines. This is what y'all voting for. Y'all want me to stay on that plantation with y'all, right? Y'all want me to stay on that plantation with y'all. This is what we want. This is what y'all want, right? That's what y'all want. Y'all want me to stay on that plantation with y'all? That's why y'all keep calling me all the names? Yeah, that's what it. See, that's all they got. That's all they got is insults. What he BSing about? Deal with the claims, right? Deal with the claims, right? If it's boring, you can leave. All right? Deal with the claims. Deal with the claims. See, that's the problem. Y'all keep talking about we house this and we house that, but it was the majority of slaves that stayed. It was the brave ones that broke away and wanted to be free. See, we're in the minority. The ones who don't want to stay on the plantation with the Democrats. Y'all are the ones that want to exactly. Look at all. Thank you. Winston Smith says it. Look at all the Democrat-run cities. All S-holes. Every single one. I live in one. Bingo. Right? Y'all, look what he said. We got to give them a little something, but not enough to make a difference. Sound familiar? All the symbolism that they give you, Black History Month, Juneteenth, Ketanji Brown Jackson, right? Kamala Harris. All the symbolism that they give you, we still got the most pathologies plaguing us of any group. People, even leftists say it, that when white people get a cold, black people get pneumonia. They say that, right? Because if something happens, if the ravages of feminism gives white people a cold, it's going to give black people pneumonia, right? These are leftists that say that. Stephen A. Smith saying it. I've heard this from multiple people saying this, right? But then y'all want to say, but it's the Democrats that's perpetrating this stuff on y'all. All the Democrat-run cities run by black people are S-holes, but y'all blame Republicans for it, right? It's the Republicans.
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
They're going to put y'all back in chains. The Republicans going to put y'all back. Why do Republicans need to put y'all in chains when the Democrats already have you enslaved ideologically? They don't have to do anything. The Democrats are doing a great job. The black community is doing a great job by itself with no help from Republicans. Republicans don't need to destroy you all. You're doing it yourself. And people say, well, you're part of it too. Yes. Yes. It's insane to me that y'all keep falling for it.
They're going to put y'all back in chains.
The fear tactics, right? Oogie boogie, oogie boogie, oogie boogie, right? Oogie boogie. And y'all come in here telling me, right? Y'all keep telling me, I did. Yeah, me, who, husband of one wife, raising my children, church going, got like 2 or 3 different jobs, right? Upstanding citizen. I'm the problem. I'm the Uncle Tom. I'm the Uncle Ruckus. I'm the sellout. Okay, great. I just want to live the American dream like virtually every other American before me and just love my wife, raise my kids, leave an inheritance to them, raise them well so that they contribute to the society, so they have civic virtue. They're not ratchet. They're not running around here single moms constantly looking for the system to take care of them. My children are entering the junior composers competition because they've been writing songs like crazy, classical music. Sons are writing rags like Scott Joplin because he was really impressed with Scott Joplin's history and his playing ability. He learned a couple of Scott Joplin songs, and then he just started writing rags of his own. So he's going to enter them in the junior composers competition. He grows food and watermelon. My other son wants to be a chef. My daughters compose. These children are 14, 13, 11, and 8, and they're composing music, classical music. They all play three or more instruments. And yes, I'm a sellout. Okay, great. I'm a sellout. They all read constantly. Just finished the 12 Caesars. My two sons. I just finished. Well, I'm in the middle of reading Little House in the Big Woods with my daughter, with my 8-year-old daughter. Like what? But I'm a Uncle Tom sellout. All this other stuff, right? Yeah. Right. We homeschool our kids. My wife does an amazing job. I teach my sons logic, rhetoric, right? This is one of the books we'll be going over. We've already done multiple fallacy books. We're going to be going over this one as they get older. But I'm the sellout. I'm the embarrassment to the black community. Right. Of course, I'm fine with selling. I'm saying if I got to yoke myself to the Biden
you ain't
blacks,
black,
then I ain't black. I am fine with not being black. If that means I'm not doing what y'all do. I'm not living the way y'all live. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. What's going on? You're serious. Yes. Half the problems disappear by cutting ties with. Sure. See, you are gonna get me. You're gonna get me in trouble. Stop me back on that. I got in trouble yesterday with that. But yeah, I'm not interested. I don't really care about these. I don't care about these people. They come in here and right, and they get their insults off. It makes them feel better. Right. It is what it is. But again, just keep bringing the receipts. It is right there, right? Yeah. Yeah, look, the tariffs, if they're working, right? Tariffs worked in the past. Tariffs can be a temporary solution to even the playing field with some of these other countries. I don't know if it's a long-term. I'm not an economist, so I don't believe it's a long-term success strategy for us, but I think we do need to have even trade agreements with other countries so that the American worker is allowed to compete in the marketplace. We don't want our goods to be diminished because of foreign labor that is cheaper, right? So and we can't compete because the American worker is being because of our own foolish policies limited in the marketplace. So again, tariffs hit, like right now, it looks like the economy is kicking again. His tariff plan, while it may be it was a temporary measure to get people to the negotiating table. If it works, go for it. Is it a long-term strategy? It is what it is. People can say what they want to say. Let's look at the results, because this is the problem. Some people, what they do is, and this is the left. This is how the left governs. The left governs based on empathy and emotion. And you should read Thomas Sowell if you really want to understand how the vision of the anointed, the intelligentsia, et cetera, et cetera. All right. But the left says we're going to wage war on poverty. Right. All right. How are you going to do it? It sounds altruistic. It sounds humane. It sounds like you care about people. Great. If the policies that you enact have the opposite effect. If it creates more people and it creates more dependence upon the government, then your policy was bad, right? Then they'll say, no, there were mitigating factors and unforeseen factors that, yes, Consul of Texas. Yes, I have. Yes, about 20 some years ago. Yes, I have. So the mitigating factors aside, they're like, well, no, our policies were fine. There were just some mitigating factors that caused there are other factors that caused the war on poverty to fail. Our policies to fail, right? That's how the left governs. So we had amazing intentions and good intentions, but the policies failed. Oh, wait, it's not our fault. Something else caused that. We can't govern like that, though. If the left governs that way, and it's a recipe for failure. It's a recipe for poverty to win. War on drugs. Drugs is winning. We have a fentanyl epidemic, homelessness based on this drug epidemic. The war on drugs, we lost that one. The war on poverty, we lost that one. No Child Left Behind. We got a lot of dumb people now. Like, a lot of children are being left behind academically. America is no longer at the top of the educational ladder. Again, so when the government starts talking about we're going to war on this thing or we're going to do, just start to immediately think, wow, they're probably going to fail miserably. But the issue is they're going to say that they did. Yeah, the war on terror. Right. The war on terror. Right. Terror is still happening. Right. So unfortunately, when people say tariffs are bad, well, okay, you have a week. All right. After a week, yeah, they didn't work. Well, let's actually do a forensics after a little while to see whether or not it worked. Unlike the left, which never wants you to look back and see that their policies have been an abject failure. Trust me, as a black man, the left has helped us a lot. Where are we? Need we say more? The blacks have been the most helped group by leftists. Thank you. That should be a clear indication of how the government, how the government functions. Thank you to everybody that's subscribing. I appreciate you, right? You can join. Thank you. Like the video, right? Yes. Thank you. All right. So we got a few more things to cover. We're going to do rapid fire real quick. Rapid fire on a couple of things, okay? Because I want to get these things out of my queue. They've been in my queue for a while, right? So let's see what we're gonna do. All right, hold on one second. Let's see. So we got some. Oh man, yeah. We're gonna look at this. We got some stuff. We got some like fatigue stuff to talk about. I'm putting it in here. Oh boy. So apparently, y'all. Let's look at this. Now, Jamal Bowman told us recently that black people are more prone to cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and the like because of, the threat of being called the N-word by white people constantly. So because of that stress, we're more prone to all of those things. What's going on, Kim Wells? Thank you. I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you. All right. So we found out also that diets from what's that lady that oh boy. I want to find her. I'm going to find her. I'm going to find that video while I talk about this. But we've also found out now that jogging has always excluded black people. Huh? Dieting has always excluded jogging has always excluded black people. I didn't know that because my wife and I used to jog all the time with our kids. Remember this lady when she said this is pretty much the same thing in, not in video form, but let's look in like this is a problem that we apparently are, black sisters have when it comes to dieting. Right?
The same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower, even when we're following the diet, than our white women counterparts. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same. The same diet.
So this mindset of victimhood is not healthy for the black community. And it needs to be rejected wholesale. Full stop. Right? The diet don't work for you the same because we're black, because of the struggle. Do you know that most of I'm going to ask this question. Hold on one second. Let's see. Where is it? I'm just going to ask the question. All right. No, I'm going to do it. I need it in a table. I'm going to tell it in the table. Yes, summary table. Here we go. Obesity rates amongst African Americans, 1800 to 1900, very low, rare. 1900 to 1940, low. Some increase in urban areas. 1950s to 60s, rising. Black women show higher rates. 1970s, noticeable disparity. Black women 31%, men 18%. 1990s, high. Black women exceed 45%. Now, which of these decades do you think was the most racist? In the chat. Which decade do you think was the most racist? The 1800s, when, the slavery. The 1900s to 1940s, Jim Crow. 1950s to 60s, still Jim Crow. But civil rights legislation on the way. 70s, still some racist pockets, right? As people are adjusting to the newfound freedom of blacks. 1990s, high. Or 1990s, was it more racist in the 90s or the 2000s? You think that black people lived under the threat of racism, more prevalent racism in the 2000s than in the 18 and 1900s? Or the 1900s to 1940s? So why can't these overweight, obese people get it together in a less racist society? That's the question. So now it's more racist. Y'all actually believe that? More racist. When they were codified, there were laws on the books against blacks voting, sitting in different, not being allowed in whites only spaces. I'm asking. Some people are saying it. Some people are actually saying it. I don't know if y'all can see all of the comments. Some people said the 2000s. Some people said now. I know some of you aren't saying that. But guys, racism, are we serious? Racism? is there's more of it now than during slavery? Whew. Really? Yes. It is me, it's Uncle Ruckus, no relation. Thank God for the white man. Yes. So unfortunately, these people live in their own created victimhood narrative, and the mind has tremendous control over the body, mind over matter. Of course, you won't be able to, if you've been indoctrinated to hate white people and believe that the boogeyman exists on every corner. Yes, of course, you're going to have trouble losing weight, but it's a figment of your imagination. This country is not more racist today than it was in the 1800s and the 1930s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. That is objectifiably false. And so you believing that it is more racist today is a product of you being indoctrinated into the hatred of America and the belief in white supremacy. It was Lyndon's change. That was Lyndon's. Yes. Yes. Right? These people put all of this information online for us to comment about. We're going to comment about it, guys. Let's listen into this. We talked about the baby Hillary. We're going to do this last one, and then I'm going, and yeah, we'll do this last one. We'll talk about this 60-year-old woman. Let me see. How long is this?
Why would I continue to date a race of men who don't respect what I bring to the table, who I am, how strong I am, how I stand? There is a large percentage of black men who don't really hold it down. As a black woman who has always dated black, I've dated twice outside of my race, and it was amazing. And I did feel guilty, like maybe I should stay within my race, but all bets are off now because I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to teach people how to treat me. So if I meet someone outside of my race that chooses to come at me in a more respectful, a more consistent manner than what I've been experiencing, that's what I'm going to do. Your thing. I'm going to be colorblind.
Your price is too high for the man you qualify for. And the man who you qualify for, you think is beneath you. And by the time you're ready to make a deal, it ain't even JCPenney level. Now it's Dollar Tree level. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
He ain't lying, though. But that's the problem, right? We get this. She has an overestimated sense of her own worth. She's 60. Who does she think is checking for her at 60? At 60 years old, you should be a grandma somewhere with your children and grandchildren around you, affirming all the choices that you've made in life, the sacrifices that you've made for them. They're loving you for who you are and the strength of your character. She out here trying to date at 60. Talking about, I'm not going to settle. Right. I'm not going to settle. Oh boy, you better settle as quick as you can. Yes, indeed. Anyway, we're going to leave it at that. I wanted to get that live out to you all, right? Unfortunately, we're going to keep asking these questions about Epstein and the list. We're going to keep asking, right? We're going to keep asking until we get some answers, right? That's how we're going to do it. We're going to keep holding the feet to the fire, right? Because some of the things that are happening are a direct result. Let's look at this. Are a direct result of us prodding, probing, and continuing to question. This one right here. Hold on. This one right here. Here you go. Right there. Cash. Reportedly considering resigning. Now we need to get Bondino. If Trump is guilty as well, sweep them all away. Right? Sweep them all away. Okay? Right? I know, guys. I know. Y'all really, I know. He's your president too, though. Okay? If you live here, he's your president too, guys. All right? Anyway, until next time, be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. See y'all around. Bye.